Ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you a question. Have you ever felt like you're walking on eggshells trying to please everyone, afraid to say no because you don't want to upset someone? Have you ever watered down your dreams, your voice, your power just to fit into someone else's comfort zone? Stop being soft to everyone. You weren't born to be a doormat. You weren't born to dim your light so others don't feel blinded. You were born to be bold, to stand tall, to roar with the fire that's been burning inside you since day one. Life doesn't reward the timid. It doesn't hand out trophies for participation in the game of mediocrity. It rewards the bold, the fearless, the ones who decide that their dreams are non-negotiable. So why are you still seeking approval from people who don't even understand your vision? Listen to me, you can be kind without being weak. You can be compassionate without being a pushover. The world doesn't need another person who blends in. It needs you to show up unapologetically, fiercely, authentically. You want success? You want growth? Then you gotta set boundaries like your life depends on it, because it does. Your peace, your progress, your purpose depend on your ability to say, no, I won't settle. No, I won't tolerate disrespect. And I won't shrink myself to make you feel comfortable. You bring to the table. So today I challenge you, speak your truth, even if your voice shakes. Stand your ground, even if your knees buckle. Take massive action toward your goals, even if fear whispers in your ear. Because at the end of the day, the world will respect you, not for how much you gave in, but for how boldly you stood up. This is your life, your one shot, your masterpiece in the making. So stop being soft, start being unstoppable. Now get out there and own it. Boldness isn't about being loud or aggressive. It's about standing firm when the world tries to push you down. It's about having the courage to speak your truth even when your voice trembles. Too many people walk through life afraid to offend, afraid to stand out, afraid to disrupt the comfort of others. They shrink themselves to fit into spaces they've outgrown, and they call it kindness. Let me tell you something. There is a difference between being kind and being soft. Being soft means you let people cross boundaries you should have set. It means you say yes when your soul is screaming no. It means you tolerate disrespect because you fear confrontation more than you value your peace. Stop being soft to everyone. Life doesn't reward the timid. Opportunities don't knock on doors guarded by hesitation and self-doubt. They seek out the bold, the ones who dare to demand more, not just from the world, but from themselves. You were not born to tiptoe through life, apologizing for your existence. You were born to make an impact, to leave a mark, to carve your name into the fabric of history. But that requires boldness. It requires you to stop watering down your dreams to make them palatable to others. It requires you to stop shrinking so that others feel comfortable. Think about the moments when you felt most alive. Were there the times you played it safe, blending into the background? Or were there the times you took a risk, spoke your mind, and stood your ground? Boldness fuels a fire within. It ignites the passion that turns ordinary people into legends. It's not about arrogance, it's about authenticity. It's about showing up as your true self, unapologetically, even when the world tries to dim your light. You will be misunderstood. You will be judged. But guess what? People judge you anyway, whether you play small or go big. So why not go big? Why not be the person who lives without regret, who doesn't look back wondering, what if I had spoken up? What if I had tried? The pain of discipline is temporary, but the pain of regret lingers forever. Boldness is choosing yourself every single day. It's refusing to settle for less than you deserve. It's walking away from situations that no longer serve you, even if it means walking alone. It's about looking in the mirror and being proud of the person staring back, because you know you stood up for what mattered. Don't confuse being soft with being compassionate. You can have a kind heart and still have a backbone of steel. You can be empathetic without being a doormat. Set boundaries. Speak your truth. Demand respect. Not just from others, but from yourself. Stop waiting for permission to be great. Stop diluting your essence to fit into molds that were never designed for you. The world doesn't need more people who are prey to ruffle feathers. It needs warriors. It needs voices that echo long after the noise has faded. It needs people who are bold enough to challenge the status quo, to break free from mediocrity, and to inspire others to do the same. That person can be you. But only if you decide to stop being soft to everyone. This is your life. You get one shot at it. Don't spend it living on someone else's terms. Be bold, be fierce, be unapologetically you. Because the world doesn't change through silence. It changes through the roar of the bold. Confidence isn't about having all the answers or being perfect. It's about believing in yourself even when the odds are stacked against you. It's about standing tall when life tries to knock you down, about walking into a room without needing to shrink to make others comfortable. Too often, people mistake being agreeable for being strong, thinking that saying yes to everything makes them likable. But here's the truth. Real confidence comes from knowing when to say no. It comes from drawing the line, standing your ground, and not being afraid to disappoint others if it means staying true to yourself. Stop being soft to everyone. You weren't put on this earth to please everyone. You weren't born to be invisible, to fade in the background, or to silence your voice so others don't feel challenged. Confidence is about owning your space unapologetically. It's about looking at the mirror and not seeking validation from anyone else. It's not arrogance, it's self-respect. It's knowing your worth without needing constant reassurance from the world. Think about the times you held back your thoughts, afraid of what people might think. Did that hesitation make you feel stronger, or did it leave you with regret, wondering what could have been if you had just spoken up? Confidence isn't the absence of fear. It's the decision that your dreams, your voice, your truth are more important than that fear. It's waking up every day and choosing to show up, even when doubt whispers in your ear. Life will test you. People will question you, criticize you, and sometimes try to tear you down. But guess what? Their opinions don't define you unless you let them. Confidence is built in the moments you choose not to let rejection or failure break you. It grows when you face challenges head on, when you refuse to be diminished by setbacks. Every scar, every stumble, every failure is proof that you dared. You tried. You showed up. Stop being soft to everyone because not everyone deserves access to your energy. Protect it. Value it. You can be kind without being a pushover. You can be generous without being taken for granted. Confidence is setting boundaries, not out of fear, but out of respect for yourself. It's walking away from people or situations that drain you because you know your peace is non-negotiable. Don't wait for someone to hand you permission to be great. Don't wait for the perfect moment to feel ready. Confidence is built in action, not in waiting. It's built when you take the first step, even if your knees are shaking. It's about falling and getting back up, not because someone told you to, but because you owe it to yourself. You deserve to live a life that reflects your passions, your values, and your dreams, not a life dictated by the expectations of others. The world doesn't change through passive acceptance. It changes when people rise up, when they speak their truth, when they refuse to be silenced. That change starts with you. Be the person who inspires others, not because you follow the crowd, but because you dared to stand apart. Be the person who others look at and think, if they can do it, so can I. This is your life. Don't spend it walking on eggshells, afraid to be too much. Be too much. Be bold, be fierce, be confident. Because the only person you need to impress is the one staring back at you in the mirror. Boundaries aren't walls meant to shut people out. They are the gates that protect your peace, your values, and your self-worth. Setting boundaries is not an act of selfishness. It's an act of self-respect. Yet too many people go through life afraid to establish them because they don't want to seem rude or difficult. They let others overstep, drain their energy, and chip away at their confidence, all in the name of being nice. But here's the truth. Being soft to everyone is not kindness. It's a slow erosion of your identity. Stop being soft to everyone. You weren't put on this earth to be everyone's emotional cushion, to carry the weight of their expectations, or to constantly bend so others don't break. Boundaries are the bold lines that say, this is where I end and you begin. They define what you tolerate, what you accept, and what you refuse to endure. Without them, you become a canvas for others to paint their desires, leaving no space for your own colors to shine. Think about the times you felt overwhelmed, frustrated, or even resentful. Was it because you were doing too much for people who gave too little in return? Was it because you said yes when your heart screamed no? That discomfort you felt wasn't just exhaustion. It was your soul crying out for boundaries. And every time you ignore that cry, you chip away at your own sense of worth. Life doesn't reward those who stretch themselves thin for the sake of pleasing everyone. It rewards those who know their limits and honor them unapologetically. Boundaries are not barriers to connection. They are the foundation of healthy relationships. They teach people how to treat you, not through words alone, but through consistent action. When you set a boundary, you're not saying, I don't care about you. You're saying, I care about me. Stop being soft to everyone, because not everyone deserves access to your time, your energy, or your heart. Your compassion should never come at the cost of your well-being. You can be kind without being a doormat. You can be generous without being depleted. Boundaries are not about pushing people away. They are about creating space where both you and others can thrive. Think of a garden. It flourishes not just because of the sunlight and water, but because of the fences that protect it from being trampled. Your life is that garden. Without boundaries, weeds of resentment, frustration, and burnout will overrun it. But with boundaries, you cultivate peace, purpose, and fulfillment. Don't wait for others to respect your boundaries. That's your job. You teach people how to treat you by what you allow, what you stop, and what you reinforce. And yes, it will be uncomfortable at first. People may push back, accuse you of changing, or even make you feel guilty. But that discomfort is temporary. The peace that follows, that's permanent. You owe it to yourself to create a life that honors your worth. Not everyone will understand your boundaries, and that's okay. They don't have to. What matters is that you understand them. You deserve relationships where your no is respected just as much as your yes. You deserve to feel safe, valued, and whole, not because you gave everything away, but because you knew what to keep for yourself. This is your life. Protect it. Respect it. Stop being soft to everyone. Set boundaries, not to keep people out, but to ensure that the right people stay in. People who respect your space, honor your worth, and love you not for what you do for them, but for who you are. Be bold enough to draw the line and courageous enough to stand behind it. Authenticity is the courage to show up as your true self, unapologetically, in a world that constantly pressures you to be something else. It's not about fitting into someone else's mold or living up to expectations designed by others. Authenticity is the bold declaration that who you are is enough, without edits, filters, or masks. But too many people soften themselves, dim their light, and dilute their essence just to be accepted. They trade authenticity for approval, not realizing that in doing so, they lose the most valuable thing they have, their true identity. Stop being soft to everyone. Stop bending and breaking just to make others comfortable. Life isn't about blending in. It's about standing out because of who you are, not despite it. Every time you hide your true feelings, suppress your opinions, or conform to someone else's expectations, you betray yourself a little more. And over time, that betrayal stacks up, leaving you feeling lost, disconnected, and empty. The truth is, you can't be fully loved if you're not fully seen. And you can't be fully seen if you're busy wearing a mask. Authenticity requires boldness because it means risking judgment. It means standing in your truth even when it's not popular, even when it makes others uncomfortable. But ask yourself, would you rather be loved for a version of you that isn't real, or respected for who you truly are? Authentic people don't seek validation because they don't need it. Their worth isn't tied to someone else's opinion. They don't shrink to fit into spaces they've outgrown, and they don't water down their voice to avoid conflict. They live with integrity, not just when it's easy, but especially when it's hard. Think about the moments you felt most alive. Were they the times you pretended to be someone you're not? Or were they the times you embraced your quirks, your flaws, your passions, without apology? That feeling of freedom, of alignment, that's authenticity. It's not about perfection. It's about truth. It's about owning your story, even the messy, imperfect parts, because they are what make you real. And realness is magnetic. People are drawn to those who are unapologetically themselves because it gives them permission to do the same. Stop being soft to everyone, because when you prioritize pleasing others over honoring yourself, you're not living, you're performing. And performances are exhausting. They drain your energy, suffocate your spirit, and rob you of genuine connections. Authenticity, on the other hand, liberates you. It frees you from the exhausting cycle of trying to be enough, because when you're authentic, you already are. But here's the thing. Authenticity doesn't mean you're perfect. It means you're honest. It means you're willing to say, this is who I am, even if it's not what people expect. It's having the guts to admit when you're wrong, the strength to stand up for what you believe in, and the wisdom to walk away from anything that requires you to be less than who you are. It's not about being fearless. It's about being real despite the fear. You owe it to yourself to live a life that's true to you, not one dictated by the expectations of others. Yes, it will be uncomfortable. Yes, some people won't get it. But that's okay. The right people will be drawn to your authenticity, not your performance. And though this is your life, don't spend it being soft, hiding your brilliance or muting your voice. Be bold enough to be authentic, be fierce enough to be real, because at the end of the day, authenticity isn't just about how you show up for others. It's about how you show up for yourself, and you deserve to show up fully, unapologetically, and without compromise. Fearlessness isn't the absence of fear. It's the decision to move forward despite it. It's not about never feeling afraid, but about refusing to let fear dictate your actions, your choices, or your destiny. Life will throw challenges at you, obstacles designed to test your limits and shake your confidence. But here's the truth. Fear is just a feeling, not a fact. It's a story your mind tells you to keep you safe, but often it keeps you small. Stop being soft to everyone, especially to fear. Fear doesn't deserve that kind of power over you. Fear whispers lies. It tells you you're not good enough, not smart enough, not strong enough. It convinces you to stay in your comfort zone where it feels safe but stagnant. But growth doesn't happen in comfort. It happens when you step into the unknown, when you take risks, when you face what terrifies you and do it anyway. That's fearlessness. It's not about being reckless, it's about being relentless. It's about having the courage to fail because you know that failure is just a stepping stone to success. Think about the dreams you've put on hold because of fear, the opportunities you've let pass by, the words you left unsaid, the chances you didn't take. Regret doesn't come from trying and failing. It comes from never trying at all. Fearlessness is looking back at your life without what ifs. It's knowing you gave everything you had, even when it scared you. Because at the end of the day, fear might protect you from failure, but it also protects you from growth, from success, from truly living. Stop being soft to everyone, including the voices in your head that tell you to play it safe. Fear will always be there, but you don't have to listen. You don't have to let it make decisions for you. Imagine how different your life would be if you acted as if you couldn't fail. What would you pursue? Who would you become? That version of you is already inside you, waiting for you to choose courage over comfort. Fearlessness is not a destination, it's a practice. It's built in small moments, in the daily decision to show up, to speak up, to stand tall. It's saying yes to the things that scare you because you know they'll stretch you. It's saying no to the things that no longer serve you, even if it means disappointing others. Fearlessness is not about being tough on the outside. It's about being unshakable on the inside. It's about trusting yourself even when the path isn't clear. You don't have to be fearless to start. You just have to start to become fearless. Every time you face your fears, you shrink their power. You build resilience. You prove to yourself that you are stronger than you think. And that belief becomes your armor, not because you'll never face fear again, but because you'll know you can handle it when you do. Stop being soft to everyone, especially to the parts of you that want to stay small. You weren't born to play it safe. You were born to take up space, to chase dreams that scare you, to live a life that excites you. Fearlessness is not about avoiding fear. It's about dancing with it. It's about showing up, heart racing and handshaking and doing the thing anyway. Because courage isn't the absence of fear, it's the triumph over it. This is your life. Don't spend it hiding from fear. Face it, challenge it, rise above it. Be bold, be fierce, be fearless. Because everything you want is on the other side of fear. Self-empowerment is the realization that you hold the power to shape your life, make your decisions, and define your worth. It's about taking control of your destiny, standing firm in your beliefs, and refusing to be a passenger in your own story. Yet so many people go through life being soft to everyone, allowing others to dictate their path, their emotions, and their self-esteem. But here's the truth. No one is coming to save you. No one can give you the life you dream of except you. Stop waiting for permission to be great. Stop being soft to everyone. Stop handing over your power in exchange for approval, validation, or acceptance. Your life is too precious to be lived according to someone else's script. Self-empowerment begins the moment you decide to stop playing small and start owning your strengths, your voice, and your vision. It's not about arrogance. It's about authenticity. It's about knowing who you are, what you stand for, and not shrinking just to make others comfortable. Think about the times you felt stuck, frustrated, or invisible. Was it because you didn't have the power to change your situation? Or was it because you believed you didn't? The most dangerous cage is the one you don't realize you're in, the one built from self-doubt, fear, and the need to please. But the key to that cage has always been in your hands. Self-empowerment is unlocking the door and walking out even if your legs are shaking. You are stronger than you think. Every challenge you've faced, every setback you've survived, has prepared you for this moment. You don't need to be rescued. You need to rise. Stop being soft to everyone, including the version of yourself that settles for less. Life will not hand you what you deserve. It will hand you what you demand. And demanding doesn't mean being rude or aggressive. It means being clear about your worth and refusing to accept anything less. Self-empowerment is a choice you make every day. It's choosing to speak up when it would be easier to stay silent. It's choosing to take risks when it would be safer to stay in your comfort zone. It's choosing to believe in yourself when no one else does. And yes, it will be uncomfortable. Growth always is. But comfort is the enemy of progress. If you want a life that excites you, you have to be willing to do things that scare you. Stop being soft to everyone because not everyone deserves a front row seat in your life. Yes. Protect your energy, your time, and your dreams. Surround yourself with people who lift you up, not weigh you down. And if those people aren't around yet, be your own biggest supporter. cheer for yourself, believe in yourself, fight for yourself. Because at the end of the day, self-empowerment isn't about external circumstances. It's about an internal decision to own your power. You were born to stand out, to shine, to make an impact. But that will never happen if you keep softening your edges to fit into spaces you've outgrown. Embrace your fire. Embrace your voice. Embrace the parts of you that are bold, fearless, and unapologetic. That's where your power lives. This is your life, your one shot. Don't waste it living small, afraid of offending, afraid of standing out. Be fierce, be bold, be empowered, because the moment you stop being soft to everyone and start being true to yourself, that's the moment your life truly begins.